Get this man's dick out of your mouth.
This photo will never leave my head.
Straight out of the can.
Maybe the grossest thing I've seen somebody do on reality television.
This motherfucker will not shut up. Oh, good job, Nanas. He fucking cut the deck in half. Pull out the XY axis. Where are the nipples?
How?
Where are the nipples? Where are the nipples?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the #1 The Right Reality Podcast. What a move by Mix. If you're watching on YouTube, you got quite the opening dance.
Hey, I'm Mixie. We're here to recap.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Is she drunk already? The answer is no. The answer is no.
We're going to touch on that later.
We will touch
but
on
not right now.
That will be at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for all of those things. If this is your first time finding us, you're like, why are they talking about a girl who might be drunk or not drunk already? You have found yourself in the right place. If you want to be entertained by the challenge, this is your podcast. We're the #1. Mixie, what is the name of this week's episode?
It's the worst one yet, Steven. Hooray! We have for episode 12, the era of the purge.
Okay. So a purge was involved. Last week, it was like payback era, and you're like, I don't know what the payback was. At least there was a purge. So
yeah, but it's just like the era of the purge just doesn't hit the ear right. It doesn't come out of the mouth in a good, nice, clean way.
It doesn't, yeah.
I like clean things coming in and out of my mouth.
Coming up on this week's episode, we have the return of a fan favorite segment. Us controlling the show is more and more and more clear than ever. And Mixie wants to put a muzzle on a contestant. Can you guess who it is?
I'm sure you can, but we will get there. Let's jump into this fucking episode, Steven. We have so much to talk about,
but I have disappointing news that you have not heard about yet that I've been holding for a few days. Ladies and gentlemen,
go ahead.
I submitted us to a national competition as the sexiest podcast hosts. We lost.
How?
To the Kelsey brothers.
To the Property Brothers?
To the Kelsey brothers.
Oh. Ugh. They don't need that. Well, this is pre-Jason Kelsey attacking a fan, so...
Great. I loved it. I've watched all of it. I love so much of it. It was like an internet troll came to life, and he just thought he could say something like that to him, and he turned around, grabbed that phone, and smashed it. This should set an example.
I agree.
This should set a fucking example that we have crossed a line, and we're not doing shit like this anymore. So get it in fucking order, little college kids, thinking you would just be like your fucking streamer friends who have security that follow them around everywhere, confronting people.
Sup, chat?
Sup, chat? What it do, chat? So we'll get to all of our housekeeping things a little bit later. We are not the sexiest podcast hosts. I think it was rigged. I think, stop the steal. All those things. I shouldn't say that a day after. You're listening to this day after the election. I'm probably going to edit all that out.
Oh, shit. That's right. Happy day after the election. Hope everyone's alive.
We'll see where we're at, everybody. Like half of the people are probably really pissed, and the other half are probably really excited. So whatever.
Or maybe we don't even know what happened yet. Who knows?
Spoiler, I don't think we know what happens by now. Like Wednesday night, I don't think anybody knows who's president yet. So whatever it is.
It doesn't matter because we have the mini final.
Oh, we have a mini final, Mixie. And listen, even before this episode started, did you catch what happened? Did you catch them spoiling their own episode in the previously on the challenge? Based off of your reaction, I'm going to say you didn't.
I didn't.
This graphic, which is on YouTube right now, was in the previously on the challenge. It's Bananas Angels. And look who's missing. Laurel is not part of that graphic.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she was part of the graphic. But later on, they mentioned her as an angel. But in the graphic, she wasn't an angel. So, little subtle foreshadowing. I think they were using a TikTok trend.
Well, we also, if you had a question mark, then later when she started talking about how when she won All Stars 4, she didn't have any debt. I was like, okay, see you later, Laurel. Honestly, I was like, okay, Laurel's probably getting purged. And then when TJ said only one person was getting purged, and it was Michelle and Laurel. I was like, okay,
we're good.
God damn it. This girl just keeps somehow getting out of these last second.
We're good. My girl's good. But I'm also like, was this like a little like we're going to pump her up again? But then I was like, no, we're not. Because they could do that only for the number one to trick us. Mm-hmm. Because we know their tricks, right?
Yep.
And also, when Theo was like, I got my kid, and like they're showing footage, I was like, God damn, can we stop doing this, please?
I have it on here too.
Can we fucking stop doing this? I know you listen. Listen, if we're watching the show, most of us know about these people's backstories, okay? They're not, we've seen these people for years. Mm-hmm. Obviously, most of us know he's got a kid, okay?
I didn't know he had a baby. That baby's cute as hell. Okay. But either way, this again, it's following the same lines though of just the way that they edit it, the way that they show like photos and stuff. It's game over.
I'm begging.
I like
if you're going to do it for one person, can we do it for both? Or if we're going to do this, can we hold on to this until we get to the elimination and you do it for both people? Like, can we do that? Not like out of the gate. Theo's talking about it. I'm like, well, he's getting purged or losing in the elimination.
And Laurel too. Like it was obvious. At least they buried the Nehemiah of it all.
Strange. But also I think they were like, oh yeah, he's on this show, like we said last week. Oh fuck.
That is true.
Oh. That is what true. Are we gonna we forgot to interview him about this because we also forgot he was on this show. Getting to our season this week, Mix. Season pick was 29. Invasion of the Champions.
I know. Nobody.
Now
I don't even understand how it's like possible anymore for us all to be getting these wrong. Like the amount of people that are guessing, which I love, is like, what are the odds?
You're right. And most people aren't picking the same season.
No.
And there's only 40 of them to pick. So you would think we'd get more dubs than this, but no. I think they're
just me and I think two other people?
2 maybe
in
3.
Total?
I think 3 total. So we're at 4 total correct guesses through however many episodes we've been doing this so far. So
crazy.
God.
They did ice baths. Hooray. Cold plunges, Steven. We love those.
Mixie, we haven't talked about ice baths, cold plunges in a few weeks. And what did we get? Them talking about cold plunges and ice baths. I mean, just subtle nods to the number one. Time and time again.
I was annoyed because Derek, I can't remember who Derek was talking to, but he was like, oh, you can't get in there because of your fat ass. Show me the ass.
Show us the ass, please.
What the fuck is that?
How dare you? Now, they did show, like, Tori's sitting outside the trash can in this freeze frame that I've put up on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Smash.
Jenny looked great, too.
Okay. I'm sending you this freeze frame because this is...
Oh, I don't need it. It's burned into my brain.
Burned into your brain. She said this. She was talking, and then they pull up this shot, and I'm like, this photo will never leave my head. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. Her body is insane.
Congratulations, boyfriend again.
Again, shouts out boyfriend. Shouts out Adam, even though Avery's gone. Still shouts out Adam. Still winning.
What a life, as I said last week. Congratulations. Her body is incredible.
We could talk about it for days, honestly. It just does not quit.
There were so many shots of her throughout this episode, like just constantly, like legs and just ass.
It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy.
It's bizarre how good her body looks. It's just like bizarre, and then she like can't run more than a mile without like needing an inhaler. Because you think like everything you've known about how humans should be to be like the most efficient and best for doing things, her body looks like this person.
Yeah, but then she has this thing that causes her to not be able to breathe when she runs. It's crazy.
Oh, we're doing our own vape watch. Now, we had inhaler watch this week, but we did have inhaler watch. There was no vapes.
Again, we're 2 episodes in a row. I think that I've been calling them out, and they're like, shit, we need to make sure these aren't in the edit.
They're like, oh yeah, we're leaving it in because we don't think anybody would notice it. But obviously the number one's got.
Now there's a whole ass fucking segment on a podcast about
there's sounders. There's a sound effect that goes off when we leave them in. Hey, hey, I'm looking right at you. I'm looking right at you, editor of next week's episode. I bet you just leave one in there. Just
throw me a vape.
Throw her a vape. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Oh yeah. Right there. Give her the vape. Mixie, at this time, we had me bringing back a fan favorite segment. Quote of the week. Quote of the week. Jenny.
Quote of the week now?
Quote of the week. Jenny. Cue it.
I can't feel my vagina anymore.
Listen, great quote. I'm starting this argument off with fantastic quote. How are you giving her the quote of the week when you and I both know what happens at the beginning of the mini final?
Hold on a second. Is it quote of the week?
No, I know what quote of the week is.
Is it quote of the week? Because I was like, oh, I'll bring back quote of the week. That's a hilarious thing. And then the episode kept playing. So you might have thought that's quote of the week because I said it was quote of the week because I thought it was quote of the week. And then I watched the rest of the episode and I was like, oh, there's another quote of the week. Or maybe there's 2 more quote of the weeks. Maybe there's 3 more quote of the weeks. Who knows? You're going to have to keep listening to see what all the quote of the weeks are because this was a roller coaster of emotions for me to bring back quote of the week. Because I'm like, oh, I'll bring it back for that. And they're like, wait, we got more for you, my guy. Just buckle your safety belt because here we go.
They did that to me for Ass of the Week. We will get there.
I think our editor is editing this episode because we got some graphics too this week.
We got graphics.
Our guy
was back with the graphics. And they were needed. They were good, needed graphics,
yes.
And it was so exciting.
Yes. He's back. She's
I
back.
wanted to talk about so Aviv, they brought back up the photophagitis or whatever the fuck it is.
Very close. Yep.
And there was a moment with Kara that I was just like, this is me.
100%.
Aviv was saying, it's all my photophagitis is all fucked up, which by the way, I know that's not what it is, but I don't really want to, I'm not going to try to say it correctly. So photophagitis, and Kara goes, what is that?
Yep.
Because she also couldn't say it.
I go, is Mixie Kara? Like, it was a subtle nod to you, obviously.
I'll take it.
It was a subtle nod. Kara wanted you to know, Mix, that she's on Team Mixie, okay?
Yeah, we don't need to fucking know how to say the words. We'll get there without the correct pronunciation. It's fine.
Plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, photophagitis.
She was like, I was about to say it, then she's like, I'm just gonna pull the ripcord and go, what's the
pause? I lost it. It was so good.
What is that?
What's up that? Yeah. Great banter.
Amazing.
Great banter.
But she made it. I was thinking, okay, they're setting Aviva up.
Yeah.
But we aren't finding out about her family or anything.
Yep.
And then right after that is when Laurel was talking to Bananas, and we were pretty much told that Laurel was going to get purged without being told Laurel was going to get purged.
Okay. Clearly, our editing team listens to the number one. It's very obvious now. Sup, chat. Is there a gun to your head to make you do this every week? Because I don't get it. Okay. I don't get it. Okay. I don't.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Just show me the conversation with Laurel and Bananas.
Cut that part out.
And I don't need to know that because she won All Stars, she's not in debt anymore, and she's doing this to just do it, not because of the money. I like it, but I know Steven doesn't like it. I'm curious, do you guys like it? Like, if that's a thing that
somebody create a poll for us. Somebody create a poll for us.
Yeah, would you rather them not do it anymore?
Yes.
I'm torn on it. Obviously I like a spoiler, but it does kind of ruin the episode sometimes.
Yeah, like I know what's going to take place, and I feel like most people know now what's going to take place. They very rarely do any of these things that lead us astray. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't need it. Like, there's no reason for me to do this. Like, you can do it when she's leaving or something like that. Also, I'm just going to say this. I don't believe people don't do this for the money. I just don't believe it. I believe that she's saying that. I don't believe that she's doing that. Because guess what? If she didn't need the money and she was coming on this to compete, I know she wants to compete, but you compete because you can win.
Does she want to compete, though, with the actions of this episode? Does she want to compete?
Debatable.
DM me.
I think she did. And then this happened. And it was just like, I think it was a little checked out. I think she was upset with how it was going and knowing where she was at. And then,
I mean, I would also argue that if it's not for money directly, it's like the end goal outside of this. Like, just staying relevant on reality TV to get your little sugar bear hairs and stuff. I don't know if she does that or not.
She definitely doesn't do sugar bear hairs. I don't think she does. Influencer.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think that part of it is just staying relevant so that you can continue to get those side bags on Instagram and shit.
Sure. I think she likes competing. I think she loves competing. She likes a challenge like that. But there's a certain point where, like, I don't know how that turns off. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you, like, I mean, she was saying, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I have a feeling there was something else happening during this that might have caused something to happen. Cannot confirm or deny any of that information publicly, but just it seemed very strange. And again, I don't like it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. Just like pay it off at a different point. And honestly, like, that's not going to make me like or dislike somebody more. Like, I get why you're doing it, but like, we don't need it anymore. You know what I thought was illegal? To bring stuff from home. Where did Jordan's legs bags come from? Where did these come from? Are they just available for everybody to use?
Are you talking about those like circulation things that he was in like later?
Yeah. And then I saw Michelle in them at some point. Like, are we just providing these now?
They're probably just like at the house because I'm pretty sure Corey was in them or Josh. Wang was Wang in them at one point this season. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like I've been seeing them throughout the season.
Like, they provide them like there's a massage chair or something like that in the house as well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
just such a strange thing to see because
it is weird.
He was just like laying down, having like a full-fledged conversation with Tori, and it's like it looked like his legs were broken. They were like they had been set like he was in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of funny. I was like, oh, this is little different. And then,
well, I think the mini final really fucked everybody's bodies up.
Yeah. So we think that was before or after?
It was after.
Was it? And they just put it ahead of time? Because was
it in this period of the episode? I could have sworn it was later. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, when they were talking about how he wants to get his 5th win so that he could be up there with CT, which is crazy. How long CT did this and got 5, and now Jordan's about to, like, if he wins, he's going to hit that same number. Yeah. That's crazy.
You're right. I feel like this was maybe shot after this, or this could have been plucked from any point in time.
Anytime, yeah.
From the beginning to now.
The top that she was wearing was the top that she wore at the Elimination, so that's why I thought it was later. But they might have put it in earlier.
Yeah. Car's talking to Olivia and Theo, or to Olivia about Theo being a little different. I think Wah was there as well at the same time.
Of course Wah was there.
Wah is everywhere in this episode, but also nowhere in this episode after his knee issue. That is not being discussed at all. That's fine.
We got a bloody bandage during the daily randomly from him. And then like, oh, okay. Like, you guys didn't mention it. The only reason we know about it is because of what Josh posted. Yeah. So, like, how are you going to just give me a 0.5 second knee bandage shot? Whatever.
Well,
whatever. I'm not getting back on the rant that I gave last week.
Let's not do that.
But it still stands.
Let's not do that. But yeah, like, oh, Theo's a little different this year. And she's like, a good different? They're like, yeah, but like, we want him to be like same competitor kind of guy that he is before. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, we're rooting for love. And I was like, Theo, see ya. They were also in the previously on scenes. And I'm like, why are they bringing that? Oh, fuck.
I know. As soon as they brought it up, I was like, it's either Theo or Olivia. Fuck. And then we got the Theo backstory, and that was it.
Done. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Yep.
Honestly, I would have preferred to have the backstory there for Nehemiah, because then I could have been like, oh, at least both of the backstories were for the purge, so I don't know what's going to happen in the elimination. But now we're being too picky and too choosy, and how dare we, honestly? How dare we, Mix? Honestly, how dare we?
We got to be a little annoying.
Yeah. What's it time for, Mix? What shall we do now?
We shall cuck up.
Captain up, but I get you. Yep. Oh.
Cuckarootus.
We're captaining up. I have misplaced my blue one, so I now have a new fancy red one to go with my orange one, because the blue one has gone MIA.
Stunting? This upside down?
I'm just trying to, match colors. Oh, God, this every time. Okay. All right. I've successfully captain upped.
We're cucked and we're ready to go.
We're not
and
cucked.
You're cucked. I can't be. But anyways, we're in on the mini final. Beep. We find out it's a mini final, and now this is my contender for quote of the week. I laughed so hard when Mr. TJ, the handler, BMX legend,
all of the above,
mocked the fuck out of Cara Maria.
Play it.
Oh, it's a double elimination day.
No, it's not a double elimination
It's a triple.
No, it's not a double elimination.
Our guy TJ.
He was on one.
Whew.
And I just please let him do this all of the time.
All the time.
Please.
I feel like he does this primarily to Cara. I remember something from like
Cara
All Stars, right? Like he was giving it to her then too. Like, no, you don't do this. Like, is he doing this and they're just like cutting it out all the time? Or is he like just doing it to like Cara and Bananas? Because I was like, God, that's fucking hilarious.
I laughed so hard.
And then she was like, but really, you lied to me. You lied to me. So I was right, TJ. It isn't technically, it's not even a double, it's a triple elimination.
Yeah. Which we were close, by the way. But I do think it's interesting that now we're like, well, I guess now, because next week is girls. So I guess we'll be right back on it.
I had this note at the end, but since I already know where you're kind of going with this, I think we got 3 episodes before the final. I think we have
you think we're gonna
we have women's next week, and then there's another 2 weeks of guy girl, and then we're there.
Where does that put us with the amount of people?
I think that gets us to 10.
But that's what I was saying,
Yeah.
10.
So I think there's 3 weeks left before the final starts.
Oh my God. So we'll hit 20 with the reunion, probably.
I think so. I think there'll be probably somewhere in there. I don't know how we usually counted that as like part of the episode order, because I feel like it was only like, we were like, oh, it's going to be 18 real episodes and then maybe 2 after that, or 20 real episodes. But who knows? They could also do 8, and they could be like, oh, there's like, I don't know. But I think 10 is the right number, because then you could purge out during that, and then it's still interesting. But I think there's 3 episodes left.
We'll see.
Here's something that I do know for a fact. It was fucking hot as shit this day.
The hats
were the giveaway. And the like pan across of everyone standing there with the hats. I put, okay, the graphics team better be on today, because now is a time when I will actually need help understanding who is what, because now everybody has these same fucking hats on. Everybody's got a hat on. And then I was like, oh, they all have camelbacks. Oh, it is hot. And before it even started, our guy, the editor, we're just going to refer to you as our guy, the editor, was like, let me do some little sound design with the sound of like almost bacon sizzling, right? Because it's that hot. And let me throw in a little sunburst in the middle of this to show you how absolutely scorching it was. Now,
yep.
We have spoken to people off air who says somebody who's been doing this for a while says this is the hardest thing they've ever done on the show. This is the most physical.
This mini final?
Yeah, the most physically taxing thing they've ever done, including finals.
Oh, I'm sure that this final is gonna be a bloodbath, like the actual one.
Especially if it's hot. I think the issue with this was so hot. You're on the sand dunes.
100%.
If they catch it on a cooler day, it might not be that bad. But this person did say this is the hardest thing they've ever done on the show.
I mean, that just the very first one, like the very first checkpoint of having to dig in that sand.
Hard pass.
And I knew it as soon as he said it, like that sand is just going to continue to fall right back in. And I mean, how many people timed out? Like 4?
A lot. I think there was 5. And here's something I'll say. Clearly, none of these people grew up near a beach. Because if you grew up near a beach, you understand how to clean sand as a kid. You knew where to put sand so it doesn't fall back in the hole. This is Sandcastle Making 101. This is what we do as kids, like growing up on the beach.
Well, your privilege is showing because
thank you. Thank you. We're here.
Ohio and me is like, I would have fucked this
exactly.
up. I would have never.
Like, I mean, I don't know where Liv grew up. I wish she would have said that at some point.
I feel like
no sand.
Maybe Alaska. I don't know though.
No sand.
I wish.
No sand, as far as I'm concerned.
No sand
in that general region. You know what I mean? So I think if you grew up near the beach, you'd have an idea of like how to prevent that from happening and stuff like that. But I also, when you like the logistics of like how far down is this key? Have I like started to dig like not exactly where it is, but like 5 inches to the left of it? And am I going to miss it now because of that? Horrible. But when they cut back to those people mix, there was people who looked like they had been out there for 6 hours. And then the timer said 30 minutes. And they were dead after 30 minutes of just digging in sand.
Well, Aviv said it. She was like, it's just a mental like block too of you sitting there and being like, it has to like this next one, the next one, you know?
Yeah.
And then you're scorching. The sand is probably hot as hell too that you're digging through.
And it's like you're getting some like kicked in your face by bananas to Michelle. Like they're just throwing it in your face. You're like,
this whole thing, Steven, this whole first checkpoint, I was just like, every single motherfucker is bent over in the sand and they're just shooting all of their asses. This entire checkpoint is this week.
No way!
Ass of the week.
Of the week. There was so much ass I couldn't even decipher it. And then when we get to the next point, where they had the fucking GoPro cameras were just ass shots again.
After last week, where Jenny won it for what feels like the 80th time on this season.
Well, I couldn't give it to just Jenny, but obviously, as you saw on YouTube, that there are Jenny shots in that because holy shit.
This entire mini final, I felt was an ode to Jenny's ass. She was doing all of the positions.
Yeah.
All of them.
Every single one of them.
And I'm like, yeah, I'd be cool with that position with her. Oh, that one over there? I'd be fine with that. That one? Sure.
Tori did the splits in the sand at one point. I got banana ass. I mean,
just so much of it. But I was like, Jenny's going to go 3 in a row, 3-peat, obviously. I mean, technically she did win. She was part of that screw. And she was probably like the leader of like, let's make sure we give great ass shots. And also like her quads, my goodness. I didn't think I could be attracted to quads.
Again, the whole episode could just be us talking about all the different shots of Jenny.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. The paddleboard section of the daily, I felt like we got pretty much none of that.
No, but you know what we did get here, Mix? We got them to agree to subtly let everyone else know we control this show. Did you happen to catch our executive producer credit at the end? Did you see that in the credits?
I didn't, but I will accept the award.
That's because it wasn't there. Even though
crazy. I
feel very clearly just last week, you asked for the following things. Now I'm going to read them out and I want you to help us say if you happen to see them this week.
Okay, I will. I would like to just side note, that my memory is so bad, I don't think I could even list one of them, but you remembered and have a whole list.
This is what I do, Mix. This is what I do.
Thank you.
Driving the ship for you.
So sorry.
So last week, I think you asked for like an elapsed time. I think you asked for an elapsed time. Like, let us see during this where we're at time-wise. Did we get that? Mm-hmm. Were they showing us the time?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, have they been...
Oh, my God, I know what you're talking about now. The ranking?
Have they been doing this the entire season?
No.
Okay. For those of you not watching, I put my ear up to the microphone, even though that doesn't make any sense. Okay? Because I go, did they do that? And then, like I was going to hear it through my microphone.
Through the microphone and not the headphones.
And not the headphones, which are already in, that I do not have to turn sideways for.
Yep.
But you get the joke. Okay.
I do.
Second one, you already said it. Was there a leaderboard during the thing to show you where all the men and the women ranked?
Yes.
Okay. Was that there last week or any other week before where people were doing things like this?
No.
Okay. So again, I don't know where this is coming from, but maybe.
And
us.
they put a lot of like drop pins this time, but they were like helpful.
This one's a target. This one's back here. And
yes.
And again, the biggest thing that you asked for last week was very simple. And I said, I don't think they're going to get in the weeds of this. And the editor this week was like, fuck it. I'm going to go back in. I listened to the number one over the weekend, as everybody in America should, and I'm going to rectify the issue. I'm going to take care of the number one. I'm going to take care of Steven. I'm going to take care of Mix. And I'm going to, as they cross the finish line, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to put up exactly how long it took them to do this.
It was so nice. It was so nice, specifically like the Kylan Jordan part of it, because they were kind of trying to make it seem like Jordan might be able to catch up. But then when we saw their end times, he was 3 minutes behind.
It's almost like you're starting to treat it like a sport now, which is all we've ever asked for.
I would also argue that it was more entertaining to watch
100%.
This daily, understanding where people were ranked and
100%.
at what time they got to what checkpoint, and like comparing people that way. You're welcome.
I mean, I don't know how to make it any clearer. And honestly, next week, I expect an executive producer credit because honestly, how dare you? How dare you?
We do need to figure out who's doing these graphics, because I do think that we need to have a little chitty chat outside of the fact that we talk to them through this podcast.
DMs are open from your Finsta, so you don't get in trouble.
Yeah. We'll keep you safe.
We'll keep you safe. We won't mention that we talked to you on air, but we probably will.
Your hero, baby.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a point during this when everybody was doing the puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the miso bowls back.
Love that. Mm-hmm.
Good little throwback.
We paid for these. We might as well use them again.
Mm-hmm. No lights inside of them this time.
Sad.
But when Olivia got the puzzle right,
amazing.
And her face.
I did it? Hold on.
Dude, her face play this season has been 15 out of 10.
I was about to try to recreate it, and what I should do is just play this beautiful audio for you again.
I'm done?
Yes.
I got it?
Go.
I got it?
It was so funny. I'm
so
done?
Good.
I'm done? I finished?
Our girl has been cruising. Let's be honest. She's been cruising through the season.
Yeah.
No hate, no shade, but she has been. So I think once she actually had to finally do something and then got it right, she was just like in shock.
She's probably this felt like I didn't have to go back 80 times to double check. This can't be right. I can't have done this the first time. Everybody else is going back and checking. Bananas was here an hour before me and is still here at this point for some reason. There's no way I did this right. Me, Olivia did this the first time. Okay.
Moaya.
I'm running up that fucking sand dune where I'm still sure that they're still finding sand amongst their bodies from that sand dune.
I was surprised that Bananas struggled so much with this. I guess the way that he was talking about it seems like the memory games is kind of his weakness. I didn't realize that.
I didn't.
Has that always been a thing?
I don't know. I don't like that doesn't jump out to me like it does with like Durrell and Heights or something like that. Mm-hmm, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it might be. but I don't remember. I wanted to ask you this because he, like, even in his setup for this, he's like, I'm going to be very methodical so I don't have to go back. And then Smash cut to him having to go back and, like, not winning because he said he was going to be methodical and he didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in this position. There's 40 seasons. This run didn't look as far as I thought it was going to be to go for between the things and then back. How many are you trying to memorize at a time?
If you're going in order, I would think you could do 5.
You could do 5. Okay.
I think I could do 5. If you're going in order from like beginning to end.
Here's what
When he first explained it, I thought, and again, I kind of think this is a better idea. I thought it was like one of those things where you have like 2 sections of cards basically, and you have to like match one to a different one on a different. Do you know what I'm saying? So like I thought they would have to be like, okay, there was a list of all the seasons, and they have to be like B2 and G7 are the 2 that have that.
Oh, and
match them that way versus like just putting them in order of what's under each of the soup bowls.
I'm also now wondering, and I was going to try to bring it up in the moment, but I don't want to waste time doing that. On the sand itself was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I'm pretty sure it was. And then there was a row of letters. But on your puzzle board, number 1 was not in number 1 position. So number 1 was like in the middle, and number 13 is top left. So you're trying to also be like, okay, 1 was here, 2's over here. So it's not like left to right, left to right, left to right. I think they were haphazardly placed all among it. And the other reason I'm starting to believe that is because I didn't hear anybody trying to work with each other and be like, hey,
I'm
you
curious
take
if they were told not to.
Well, you can tell them to do that and they can still do that, because I always believe in this. Like, there could be a thing where Michelle would help Olivia to make sure they're not getting purged out and be like, I'll do these ones, I'll tell you those, and you tell me those. But then you still have to go to your board and put them in the right place. So even if I looked over to my left and like I saw Kylan's are not in the same position that mine are. They're like in a different rearranging order. So I can't just look over there and go, this one's there, that one's there.
I didn't realize that, but that makes sense.
Because as you're running back, you could very easily walk by somebody else's and go, 1, 2, 3 is this. So now I'm behind. I'm just going, Battle of the New Champions, blah, 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 blah. And just start filling them in that way and picking them off. But I think that's how they got around it. I could be wrong. And that rant could have been for absolutely nothing. But
who knows?
Smart play if that's how they tried to figure that out. Have you ever run up a sand dune before? Like done anything like this? Because this is probably I would have been dead at the bottom of that hill. I'd still be trying to get up that hill right now, I think.
Yeah, I haven't, but I had a thought of like, when they run up the sand dune, they come down, right?
That's how it works.
Why wouldn't they just like sliding down?
Oh, I don't know.
Would that have been slower? But I feel like it would have been like a nice break.
Yeah, maybe.
So everybody was just like
rolling around on the sand on the way down, or like coming down. They're like, "Whoa, don't break, don't tear an ACL."
Exactly.
Don't tear
and
an
I feel
ACL.
like you're more injury prone trying to like brace yourself going down a not stable hill.
These hills though just looked miserable, and it looked like there was the first one looked okay. Because then they got to that first area, and then it was like that last one. That looked so. They had the camera angle at the side, and it looked so steep. And there was like 3 people on it at one time. I'm like, no.
I think Theo said something at the end. He was like, "That hill killed me," and Jordan goes, "Which one?"
All of them killed it,
literally, and they also killed Laurel because she fucking quit.
Yeah, I mean, it did look like she kind of quit, but also was very frustrated with something.
Yeah, there was clearly some conversations that were being had off camera. You could see that she was talking to people that were behind the scenes. Again, because I guess I have to clarify this, we are commenting on the edit we were given. So according to the edit, she quit.
She kind of looked like she quit, but kind of was very unhappy with the situation.
Well, yeah, she referred to it as torture, and I'm not going to act like them being out in that sand and sun and all that stuff isn't awful.
Yeah.
But if we're going to all sit here and act like that's torture, and some of the other shit that they make them do isn't torture.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Maybe it's all of it. Maybe at that point she was just very clearly over what was happening top to bottom, left to right, with everything happening during the season, perhaps, and this was like the culmination of it.
Well, because Olivia also, like, when people started finishing and they were like, who's still out there?
Mm-hmm.
Olivia said something like, "What? I think Laurel quit, like, stopped doing it."
Yeah.
And so then I was like, did she quit already?
Yeah. I don't know.
Confusing.
It was very confusing.
But she quit nonetheless. Well, she didn't make it, so she got purged.
She did get purged because, again, when I think of her, I don't think of her as like the type of competitor where this would be a challenge for her. I mean, she was just talking about like it's Simple Edition just weeks ago. So again, it's one of those things where we're watching the show we're watching, and this is all we have to go on because nobody is providing us with any information before we record. However, this is what we saw, and this is what they decided to put on TV. So,
and Kara's comments as well, I do think could have potentially played a part in what Laurel was doing too. I mean, it kind of does make sense if she's doing this like interview saying that she's just there to compete and doesn't really care about the money, and then she quits, and then Kara's like she's actually not in the best shape right now and she doesn't want to embarrass herself. I would argue quitting over a memory game is more embarrassing than gassing out at a final. But
again, we're gonna put quitting in air quotes here.
Okay.
For anybody
we don't know
who might be listening, or upset with the outcome or something like that. But I can see if you believe you're one of the strongest female competitors of all time, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that.
No.
And this is how you go out, how that can be very upsetting, and you're just like, at this point, like, fuck it, I'll just go home. Like, I don't care about the money. I just want it. But, like, I don't know, it's very tough because I would sit here and go, oh, if you don't care about the money, then it doesn't, that all you care about is winning.
I also didn't like the whole speech she gave on the back of that truck. It wasn't a great look.
It wasn't a great look, no matter what took place before that.
I mean, Bananas stole the show of not having good looks after this, but at the time I was like, damn, girl, I don't know what you're trying to do here, but it is not coming across good.
As this happened, again, I thought TJ had secured the quote of the week win, because how are you going to beat that? And our OG queen, who this might be her show again now, Rachel steps up to the plate and goes, hold my beer. I got it. Your quote of the week, actual winner, is Rachel. Cue it.
I'll give you a Rachel Fitness subscription, Laurel. We can have you back in no time.
Excuse me? Clean off the throne. The queen is back. She was just taking a sabbatical. This has always been her chair. Get out of the way, everyone. Our girl's back. She's never left. Unbelievable.
This is Rachel's season, man. This is her season.
Holy shit. What an absolute savage quote of the week win. I'll give you a Rachel Fitness subscription. Is
amazing.
One of the most iconic lines ever given on this show. You quit, kind of. I beat you. I can get you in shape if you want to try to beat me again.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Amazing.
So good.
I really do think that she won All-Stars and was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I have a recent W. Like, I'm going to go and just do whatever. And
I don't know how long between, because again, they recorded this before they did 30. They did, hold on. The last All-Stars was before the other season film, 39 filmed, right? And then this film. So there was a long gap.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Remember how long that had been actually shot for? And people were like, where is the season? So
yeah, you're right. I did forget about that. But that's still, I think that she wrote that because then she
wanted to beat Cara. That's all I think she's only ever cared about is like, I beat her head to head. I won this money. I've paid off my thing. I'm going to have a nice little life here for a little bit. They're going to call me back for this. I like the concept. I'm going to go compete against, I'm hearing who the other females are. I'm going to go do this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, to go back into a big, long season versus a flagship or versus an All-Stars is going to be very grueling mentally with everything else that was going on in the house at the same time. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Yeah. Our winners here,
I think that's it for the daily.
I mean, Kyland pulling out the dub.
I'm telling you.
I'm basically there. I'm there.
I'm telling you. And I also think that like he's going to be the next Jordan type of person because it seems like Horacio is done. And I think it's going to be Kylan.
It's so crazy.
What's up, guys?
I don't see him as that type of competitor based off like
he's been killing
what we were showing.
Killing it.
But if I actually look at the data,
yeah.
How do I not now? How do I not?
Well, they put Jordan on the Mount Rushmore. I think Kylan is going to be.
That's a bold statement.
I'm telling you, give him like another 2 or 3 seasons. I would be shocked if Kylan doesn't make the final.
Oh, 100%.
And I honestly could see him winning.
Maybe.
He beat Jordan.
Yeah. It's a mini final.
And I also saw his tweets about the balls one. The last episode's daily when because Jordan won.
Yeah.
He said he was right behind him and that people put balls in Jordan's tube and no one accidentally put balls in Kylan's tube. Otherwise, Kylan probably would have won that one.
Yeah. There
obviously, allegedly.
But allegedly. Yes, all allegedly. As
I don't know, man.
With everybody on this show, I think the community will start to be on board when you get the victory, when you get the W. You can get there and get to a final. He is showing up and showing out. Obviously, I think
he's better than Wah. He's better than Corey.
Right now, obviously, yes. He did better than Bananas in that, even though Bananas started out, it was the memory thing that fucked him.
He keeps winning eliminations.
Again, if you sit down and look at the data like a blind thing and go, this person beat Darrell twice, this person he beat Brad, and you just go down the list of people he beat and picking off dailies when there's other men involved, you would go, okay, is this CT? Is this Bananas? Is this Jordan? And then you go, no, it's Kyland. And people would be like, holy shit, blind resume is working. I'm almost there. It's very strange because I don't see him as a competitor, but I guess that's on me. I'm seeing him as the personality.
You know what it is, Steven? It's his fashion. According to Bananas, his fashion sucks. So I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Which I would argue it doesn't. And Kylan's comment when he said that, and he was like, it's just very plain. It's plain, which is fine.
This is fine. Have you met me? I'd
rather that than some of the fucking shit I saw. You guys remember the fucking cotton candy rainbow jumpsuit on Derek?
Or some of Paulie's stuff? Yeah, not the best. The last thing we'll say about the daily here, Tori won in a time of 1:18.22. Rachel was about 7 minutes behind, which to me is a very sizable gap.
Yep.
I don't know what it's going to take for Tori to actually get recognition. Everybody doesn't seem to like her, and they're like, I don't know if she's one of the best female competitors of the show's history. And I'm like, what are we talking about, guys? What are we fucking talking about? What do you need to see? Does she have to get 5 fucking victories for you to give?
But to be honest with you, I think that that's probably good for her, that people are sleeping 100%. On her like this.
100%. And this was also good for Rachel. Her not having to pick between Bananas and Jordan, huge for her because that would have completely fucked her game at that point. So I don't think she purposely tried to come in second, but it worked out in her favor. And sometimes all this is about is having the cards and the chips fall correctly for you. Laurel getting purged out. And now if you're Rachel and you're looking okay, my real competition at this point left is a woman who's got plantar fasciitis. I have Cara who's sitting here going, I don't know if I'm real Cara Maria anymore.
Yep.
And then you have Michelle.
2 girls that lost their boyfriends.
Yeah, Michelle, Olivia, and who else? Who else is left? Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting fucking pretty.
Jenny. But Jenny's on her team.
And she's got to take an inhaler every 1.5 miles. Like,
yep. Exactly.
Real fucking pretty right now.
I think Tori's her honest only competition.
Oh, and Tori. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned that because I was thinking she was clearly safe. Yeah, I think it comes down to between Tori and Cara. And I'm not going to count Cara out in the final because she can run for days as well.
No, we'll she can turn it on.
100%. That's kind of, reserve the batteries until you got to go. It's like the Tour de France.
I'm curious to see how she does next week since she's finally become a target.
Very interesting. Mixie.
Very interesting.
I think you also said a few weeks ago, and maybe it was last week, that was the most pointless chamber we've ever had. And before we go to the chamber.
Hold on, let me uncuff. Oh, no.
Not that you could be, but yeah.
Damn it.
That was the most pointless chamber ever that we had witnessed in life. And I'm about to tell you a false.
Well, no. Okay. I'm going to argue it because at least it was entertaining.
Well, that's what I said going into it. I was like, why are we even going at this point? And then our guy, Johnny Bananas, just was like, number one, I got you. Sit back. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, it was grooming at the chamber table. Very interesting move. Real quick before we get into the chamber, did you catch Jordan in the window while Miss Cleo was doing her thing?
Just straight eating a can of tuna?
Straight out of the can.
Maybe the grossest thing I've seen somebody do on reality television.
Do people do that? Is that like a thing? Do people just eat tuna out of a can?
I think they do. I'm not a tuna person, but that's, you know what? Here's the thing. I saw that, I smelled it, and I wanted to throw up immediately.
It was just a can of tuna, and then I think he had like a piece of bread too. Ugh. Like, why?
Ugh.
Disgusting?
Disgusting? Great protein, but disgusting?
But you could get protein in a better way than that. It grossed me out.
It really did. And I'm just like, but who am I to argue with Jordan over what's like a great post-daily like meal to have? You know what I mean?
I feel like at this point, this is kind of, and then once we get into the elimination as well, you can kind of start seeing people go. Like, we've been here at this place for this long with the same amount of people, and everybody's getting annoyed with each other. It's like the last couple days of summer camp where you just lose your mind.
Yes, I believe we've been told from a certain number of people, multiple people, if you thought it was good before this, it's going to get real good now.
Oh, you can see them go.
Oh,
you can see the brains start going. And we are, as you said, you think another, what, like 3-4 episodes in? I think so. Before the final? Like, I agree. It's probably going to be crazy.
Buckle up. Again, we cannot confirm or deny.
Flipping his toenails at the table and blowing them at Tori and Kylan. Saying Kylan's wardrobe sucks literally out of nowhere, and also that Tori isn't funny. Like, she wasn't trying to be funny in that situation. Like, we're just attacking people for no reason. Just,
I mean,
also, don't go at Kylan. He's not doing anything. Yeah. We both know that this is Tori's decision, and we all know what's happening. Yeah. So, like, leave him alone. Okay.
Like, I just won the
lost
daily.
His girl.
Yeah, he lost it. Well, I mean, we've learned what has happened since then, thanks to the interwebs. Yeah. Honestly, wild story. Wild story on how that imploded. If that is 100% the real truth, an absolute wild ending to that relationship.
Do you want to tell the people? The alleged?
I mean, yes and no. Like,
Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it.
It's worth the deep dive.
Yeah, let's say it involves a shower. It involves
It
involves taking a number 2. Disgusting.
disgusting. Which one of us?
Which one of you took a shit before we're about to bang in the shower? I feel like that's a good enough tease, right? If you want to go look it up.
You got him there. I think you got him there.
Yeah, and maybe if you don't want to know all of it, you can just put that in your pipe and smoke it and let your imagination run wild. Because
love that.
I mean, it tracks.
It does. It very much tracks.
I mean, it tracks. So, there you go. So I'm glad we got that. What an absolute performance by Bananas in the chamber. Like, our guy just knows what to do. He went in with the plan of just doing this.
Yeah.
And then Tori, made it real for a little bit. And I think what we saw here, and I want to really know what you thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think last week was Bananas' kind of way of entertaining and trying to get people to argue with him.
Yeah.
And Tori took the bait. Olivia didn't. And this week, he feels very uncomfortable with his place in the game.
Yep.
And she got to him again. And he pulled back the curtain for a minute and a half. He took the
mask off.
To 2 minutes, and then realized he had done that and was like, we're going. I'm leaving. Yep. And literally stood up. I think he was looking off to the producers why are we even still here?
Yep.
Why are we here?
Yeah, he's like, I did my little dancey dance. Now I'm going to leave.
I entertained. I clipped the toenails. I know you're going to fucking put that in there. And now I'm not going to sit here and listen to her berate me.
Yep.
When it's not true. He had said, you have been there in the trenches with me, and I've been burned by so many people close to myself. To have somebody that can, I definitely didn't spell that right, who can understand that, I don't even know the word I tried to write there, that understands that, join the other side, is pretty fucked up. Okay. And then she goes, but there's no accountability. And he's like, what's my accountability? Playing the game. I won't apologize for that.
Okay, then don't get mad at her.
Here's a mirror, my guy.
Yeah. Honestly, I think all of this stems from he wanted to work with Devin. Devin didn't trust him. And Tori trusts Devin more than Bananas. And here we are. And I think he actually is a little hurt that she picked Devin over him. And also Michelle did the same thing.
And Jordan's going to be above him too. So at best, he's a 3, right?
Yep.
And he knows she, being on every other season, let's be honest, she has had a lot of control about what's going on in the house and how people are voting, and she's going to win dailies, and especially in this format, that she was going to be a huge, huge part of everything that is going on. And he got put behind. The accountability is like, oh, I was trying to work with him, so I got it out. And she's like, yeah, so you got out my number one, the guy that I won a season with, and you think I'm just going to let that slide?
Yeah.
You also tried to unravel his relationship with somebody who clearly makes him happy. So you think I'm just going to sit here and not do anything?
Yeah.
I'm playing the game too. So fuck you for trying to put that on me.
He can't take any ownership of it because then it makes him weak.
That's what Cara said, right? And I like that they used Cara as like, see what I've been saying for years?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I've been trying to tell y'all motherfuckers this, and nobody believes me because he wins and he does his little Johnny Bananas thing. But behind the scenes, he just feels like this is him.
Well, and he even said it in an interview too that he has like a calloused heart or whatever the fuck he said. Like, because he's been doing this for so long, which sure, I'm sure that does affect the person that you are, but also how you're playing is making it that way. Listen,
Johnny, if you were wah and you competed like wah and you didn't win like wah, guess what happens? Nobody comes for you.
Yep.
You win and people want to win. So guess what? They have to try to get you out if they want to win.
You also keep causing scenes.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like, you're making television. That's great. But for a lot of people, they're like, listen, you're creating problems for us, just like Wan.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be like, hey, and that was the problem later with Wan. Michelle was like, you're creating problems, but you don't want to admit that you're trying to like use words to get around this. It's kind of fucked up. It's like fucking, I don't know. I needed something to get me out of this hole because I was like, it got too real quick. I didn't like, I'm glad we saw behind the curtains.
Yeah.
And then we closed the curtains and then Derek's wig came out.
Derek's wig was out before, but yes, it was nice.
Was it? I have it after the chamber,
Yes.
but whatever.
What?
Doesn't matter.
Did we watch
No.
differently timed?
Pretty sure it was after.
Because
the
I
chamber.
have the bags here.
Do you?
Yes.
You have the bags here? The wigs here?
The leg bags. I don't know.
Oh. No. I mean,
I have
somebody
a
else
lot of
was wearing them
concussions.
later. Michelle was wearing them later in the episode. But
I
this
don't
is where
fucking know.
I saw the wig. Miss Cleo comes out.
Yeah, Miss Cleo. And this was the tuna.
Yeah, the tuna was here. That's when you brought it up. I was like, I think we were out of order, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm
Who cares?
lost as to
It's
how
fine.
maybe I fucked up.
That's fine.
Probably.
It's just accountability. I like that. Congratulations. You're not like bananas in any way, except being an athlete.
No,
of
but
course.
I could fix
Entertaining
him.
the people. Mixie, if you put Derek's wig on, do you know what you would call yourself?
I would argue that Derek's wig is the hair I have currently. So I think I'd call myself Mixie.
That would be a pretty funny move. You just put a wig on top of your regular
That's
hair.
exactly
like
the
now.
same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, now I'm Mixie.
Yeah. By the way, a new do today for you. This is the new hair fit that I've never seen before. I'm on board for it. I like it a lot.
I'm not sure about it. Leave your comments below. I feel like I look like a child.
Okay. YouTube community, does she look like a child? Yes or no?
Judge
Comment
me.
away.
Hot or not? Go ahead.
That's, well, we all, the answer's going to be for that. I mean, listen, we don't,
Well, if I look like a child, it better be not.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't need you to do whether she looks like a child and then say she looks hot because that's, we're going to get the account shut down. Okay. Like we don't need that. We don't want it. So let's just go whether she looks like a child or not. We all know you think she's hot based off the comments that have been coming in for the last couple of weeks.
The lesbians love me.
The lesbians love you. Let's be honest, which is what I thought Rachel said earlier in the episode.
I am lesbian. That's JoJo Siwa, by the way.
JoJo's here?
JoJo Siwa. Had to bring her back.
Oh my goodness. What
But
many
no,
moons
the
ago?
D is fire.
I was mentioning that yesterday to somebody. I was like, I can't remember this person's name. And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah. It's that person.
Say it.
I've already forgotten it. Hold on.
You know it's Gypsy Rose.
Gypsy Rose. There we go.
You know it is.
Gypsy Rose.
You knew it.
In this moment, I did not. Yesterday, I was like, it's like a weird name. And it was like on the tip of my tongue, just like that. And they mentioned it. I was like, yeah, that one. Because we were talking about Love After Lockup. They go, I was like, there's that girl. And they go, the one, and they go, Gypsy Rose. I was like, yeah. I go,
I like how that's the only explanation that they needed for to know that's who you were talking about.
Love After Lockup. Yeah. And they're like, oh, and I was like, they're like Gypsy Rose. I'm like, yeah. I was like, she had some like quotes my like co-host and co-worker says all the time. I've completely forgotten them. But yeah, the D is fire. They didn't know all the quotes, but yeah.
So good. Love you, Gypsy.
No. I don't know what my name would have been. Should we make a secondary post? Also, so in the same thing, you can tell whether Mixie looks like a child or not. And I would like people to come up with names of what.
Oh, if you had the wig on?
If I had the wig on. So
I would love that.
if you're a member of the YouTube community, feel free to do that. Go over there and comment whether Mixie looks like a child or not currently with the bow in the hair. But it's not a bow. It's a scrunchie, right?
It's a scrunchie.
It's a scrunchie
It's
move.
a scrunchie.
And then what my name would be if I put Derek's wig on. Thank you very much. Please and thank you.
That would be so good. Let's go to the elimination.
Okay.
We get there. Bananas drops his shorts. Would have been an easy ass of the week winner if I would have seen it.
Yeah. Oh. You are right. You had the order right.
Sorry, a little louder for the class?
You were right. I had the order wrong. The Cleo was before him clipping his toenails. I don't know why I put the thing further up, because I had it as part of the chamber being the most pointless thing, and then we didn't go to the chamber. So that was I was out of order. I apologize. I'll take a step back. I apologize.
No. That's part about me being what?
Yeah. You were right.
Thank you so much, everybody. You don't. No need to,
clip it
to applaud. No need.
When I text her now, she's clipped me saying you were correct.
Yeah, that's gonna be your ringtone now. It's just you telling me I was right over and over again.
She's gonna love it.
Oh, feels so good.
Feels so good. She's gonna put it right up to her.
Tell me it again. Let me hear it again.
Bananas. He is now just full blown throwing a toddler temper tantrum. At this point, again, this is when I was getting at it. We're losing our minds. We are all losing our minds now.
At first, I was like, "Oh, pretty funny," but then I was like, "Okay, okay, you've done enough during this episode, sir."
It's sad. Now it's getting sad. Now it's just like, ugh.
I want to jump back to in the chamber because we're talking about body parts being out. This photo is now up on YouTube. Our girl Tori has taken over the reins from Olivia. How?
Pull out the XY axis. Where are the nipples? That is a crazy shot.
Cool. How? I was trying to be invested in Bananas airing his heart out, and I am watching basically Tori almost air her full ass titties out.
Well, but I guess not, because nipples.
Where are they? Where are they?
There's what did Olivia say? They're transparent.
They were transparent. They're clear, I think she said. Yeah,
they're clear. I'm sure Tori's nipples see-through. Are also clear.
I think she said see-through. They're see-through. I was like, what? They're see-through? What do you mean they're see-through? I can see inside your body? Yo, Tori, girl. I had to pause because I'm like, oh, they must have blurred. No blur. There was no blur.
No.
Unbelievable.
Where are your nipples, girl? We'll have to ask her.
Girl, where are your nips? I have sent this photo to her, and I've asked her for an explanation on where the nips are. Okay?
Oh, can't wait to see that. Let's go to the elimination. We talked about Bananas taking his ass out.
Yeah.
But when TJ explained this, were you like, what the fuck is happening?
A little bit. I was more focused on the fact that, oh yeah, Theo is definitely going home. There's no way he's going to be able to win this with his giant body if I understand what we're doing. And what I understand we were doing, and I don't know how many people know this game, but this was a game I played a lot as a child, but in the reverse way. Mom LaFrank's going to love this reference. This is Kerplunk.
With the marbles?
Yep.
Kerplunk.
I
thought the same thing.
Yeah,
it's human Kerplunk.
Human Kerplunk. Yep, 100%. Love that game.
Great game, by the way. Such a good game. So many choking hazards. How did they get away with that for children?
Those sticks could have been just poked in so many orifices. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
I'm sure that children swallowed those.
Should I buy one off Amazon and bring it to the office this week, and we could play some Kerplunk?
We could play some Kerplunk. I would love. It's been so long.
I'll buy one off Amazon. We'll play some Kerplunk this week.
What a good ass game. Yeah. Well, when they explained it, so the Kerplunk part of it, I understood, but then they were like, "We're playing high." All of a sudden, then it was like there was like a casino at the end. I generally understood it, but felt like the explanation could have been a bit better. But once it started and and we started watching it, I really enjoyed this elimination.
I really did too. Again, top to bottom, I thought this was an incredible episode of the challenge. Like fundamentally,
I agree with you.
Great episode of the challenge. Really, really, really good.
I agree.
Really, really good. And a great elimination
I want
too.
this elimination to stay as a thing that they do. I would like to see this elimination again.
Great point. This should be, if you're going to pick at least one from this season, so far, this is definitely one of the ones that should stay. 2 polls versus 1 poll. It
translated well on camera, like to the viewer. It translated really well, like those shots that they had going down the tube of them trying to
100%.
get through. It just was such an entertaining elimination until when can someone put a fucking muzzle on Wah? This motherfucker will not shut up. Oh, good job, Nanas. He fucking cut the deck in half. He cut. No. We're breaking this down. This man goes up to the table and Mr. TJ asks him to cut the deck.
Yes.
And Josh is in the back like, good job, Nanas. Keep working.
Way to cut that deck, my guy. I know exactly where you're at.
I wrote down, get this man's dick out of your mouth. He cut a deck of cards. And then, like 2 minutes later, Michelle's like, hey, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, yes!
Again, that shouldn't turn me on, but I was like sweating. I was like, oh, why is this turning me on? This should not be a thing that gets me excited.
I just like that it pissed me off. I wrote it down. Yes. Again, same thing with Michelle, constantly doing this to me. I write it down. I hit play again. 30 seconds later, Michelle says exactly what I just wrote down.
We're just so in tune with her. We are. We
really are.
I wrote the exact same thing as you. By cutting the card, you're saying good job, Nanas. And then I wrote, I know that's not when he exactly said it. It doesn't make sense for him to say it there. This was probably taken later. But you know what?
Sure.
Maybe he did. Because it's when.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. I was just about to say, sure, maybe that is a soundbite that they edited
but it tracks.
In. But I would argue, if we saw him saying it at the same time, nobody would have questioned it.
Nobody would have questioned it. If it was a wide shot,
yes,
they would have been like, why are you congratulating on him literally just grabbing the deck? He didn't do anything. We're literally just started this elimination. What are you doing?
Took his balls out of his mouth to say good job. And
like,
it blew back in.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. You want to be Banana's best friend. We all understand. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Why? Like, he goes insane. Michelle's just like, rooting for him means you're rooting against me. And he's like, I'm rooting for both of you. And she's like, yeah, but you're not, Josh.
This is constant
I'm sick of you. I'm sick. I don't
he keeps trying to be friends with everybody. It will continue to fucking bite him in the ass. I don't understand.
It hasn't worked for him ever.
I'm just upset because Michelle said at the beginning of this episode that she was considering putting Josh as a target. And I was like, God damn it.
That was the subtle foreshadowing. When that came up, I was like, why was that in there? I wrote it as a note. I was like, oh, Michelle's saying that, like, my team wanted me to do that, but I couldn't do it. I was like, that's in there for a reason. And now we're seeing it, and it clearly looks like it's going to come to a head next week now as well, because I am invested in these scenes from next week. I don't get it. He's like, I'm so sick of you doing this. And it's like, what is she you can't be cheering for me. You can't be like, I'm on your team, when clearly there's a better solution for me staying around, and it's your friend going home. So you can't play both sides and be like, I'm cheering for you, but very clearly, honestly, Theo coming back is better for me. Bananas coming back is better for you, but you can't say you're rooting for me when you're actively doing stuff against me. Okay, like you did a few weeks ago for Devin. The guy just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
He doesn't. He never will. And that's why he's terrible at this game, and he'll never fucking win.
I'm so confused every time he's on television and he says stuff that's just wild that everybody else goes, yeah, that makes sense. And then he gets upset with it. That's his solution is he gets upset with it. And again, great for the television show we're watching.
Oh, fantastic. And then Corey's like, everybody's arguing. This is what I wrote down. The sass this episode from everyone is insane. We're losing it.
Even Corey was losing. He's like, if I have to hear about these fucking angels one more time, I'm going to go off. I'm like, if Corey, who's usually a pretty chill guy, is starting to lose it, then everybody is starting to crack. And this is exactly what the producers want. This is why it's different on a flagship versus an All-Stars.
And this is when shit's gonna really start getting good. Obviously, Bananas wins. We need to give Theo his flowers. I am so impressed, and even Bananas said it too. The fact that that man was able to get through those situations as quickly as he was able to, and he almost got it in 30 seconds. He was right there.
Yeah, it was very
kudos to
very
him.
close.
He, as we discussed, he's been kind of cruising, and he honestly owned up to it too. But a great way for him to go out in a respectable, he gave it a valiant effort.
Yeah, it's not like getting chased down on like a little go-kart and having your flag taken away, right? Like imagine those two people competing in that. Right?
Well, I also just think that he could have just not really tried that hard because again, as you said, they explained this elimination. Theo's got to be like, I'm out. Yeah.
I mean, he did give that explanation of I watched this video about cave divers and they had an arm. You happen to see that and you were able to reference that so quickly to be like, oh, this is the move I need to do so both of my shoulders don't get trapped. It was great. They showed that shot at the end with all the poles in the middle. And I literally looked at that and I go, how did two adult men work through that? To me,
I would have struggled to get through that.
Yeah. They were Bananas had to jump over the top to begin with and then work his way I would have panicked. I would have got, claustrophobic and, all those type of things and be like, yeah, I'm just get stuck. And I honestly feel like on the very last one, you could see how the sweaty they are. And I'm like, I wonder if this helps or hurts. I wonder if this helps or hurts how sweaty they are right now.
Well, Theo also was like, I'm going to be covered in bruises tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Well, we end the episode with Bananas targeting Olivia, Michelle, and Cara Maria to no one's surprise. So I think next week's going to be a tough one for us. Unless Aviv just chokes. But honestly, I like Aviv too. So that sucks.
Yeah, who knows? You would have told me our outcome this week, I wouldn't have believed you. Going into stopping the recording last week, if you would have said to me, at the end of this, we lose Nehemiah, we lose Theo, and we lose Laurel, I'd be like, no shot. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So who knows what we're going to get? And that's what I think makes this season exciting right now is usually some of it's predictable and there is some predictability. Honestly, right now, it feels like Rachel's in the final, Jenny's probably in the final, and Jordan's in the final, right? Because they are clear of any lines of attack currently, right?
Yep.
I honestly also feel like based off what we've been seeing editing wise, Bananas is maybe going to make it too, depending on a few things. If we're one more men's elimination away.
Kylan, I think so.
Yeah. And Kylan, because, we're starting to see people talk more on camera and these are probably our finalists. So that's kind of where I'm leaning with that. But it's getting more and more interesting each week with a purge being here, which honestly, I feel like they should just randomly put those throughout the course of the season.
I would love that.
It would be really exciting.
And that is the end of this episode. I'm excited for the next one. There were some good previews. I don't know if you watched it or not, but it's going to be good. We're losing minds and I'm pumped. But now we come to the part of the episode. We have a lot to discuss that is not specifically this episode related.
Yes, we have some right reality housekeeping to do, if you will.
Yes, let's tidy up.
Let's get the brush out mix and just
let's do it.
Little sweep, little Swiffer.
I think first and foremost we need to pick our seasons for next episode.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm going to go 24.
I was going to say 24.
You can.
No.
That just means it's right if we're both
13.
Okay.
13.
Everybody, as always, leave your comments or go to the hotties and comment there as well. We always have a running post on there thanks to Carmen. Shouts out Carmen yet again. Last week, as I'm sure you all remember, I won, and by proxy, Steven won. And I believe I said the best compliment in the YouTube comments will get my bag.
Yes, you did.
And it's time for me to make that decision.
Oh, there was a lot of comments. There was a lot of comments about your hair, girl, last week.
There was, which is so funny because I thought my hair looked like shit, so thanks, guys.
You did, and I literally told you
watched,
it again. I was like, your hair looks great. What are you talking about?
I literally watched the episode, and I started watching it, and then I paused it, and I called my hair salon and made an appointment. So I'll be getting that fixed. But thank you. It was very sweet. I am going to be giving my bag to Freckles on the Go 8.
Hey!
She said, let me start with I'm a lesbian. Shouts out.
Okay.
Mixie, you are hot as hell, like Jessica Alba hot. But Steven, you could turn me straight. Lol, love you guys. I've never been referred to as Jessica Alba, and I am flattered. Thank you so much. That is so, so sweet. You get it back.
I get it. Like a Jessica Alba's like sister. I can see it. I can see it 100%.
I keep getting sisters. I got Avery's sister in the comments too. Almost won, but I like
Avery's sister.
Somebody did hit me with an Avery's sister comment again. But Jessica Alba's a new one for me, so I had to take it.
Congratulations, and from a lady who swims in the lady pond. That's what I'm
saying. It's a higher compliment when
it is.
They want to fuck, you know?
Yeah. I could turn her straight. That is high praise. That's
why I also liked that you got a compliment too, because you also did win by proxy, so you deserve it.
I won by proxy. I appreciate that. It's obviously the personality shining through and my devilish good looks, from here up, devilish good looks. And
I'm
all
sure
that.
that's
Just
what it is.
Straight eye contact. That's exactly what it is. Well, congratulations, Freckles on the Go. Please reach out on the Right Reality Instagram or and send us your shipping information. Get the bags out. That will go out this week with everybody else's that I have not shipped out. Lots going on. We're dealing with it. Second thing that you also asked for is you asked for a couple Apple reviews. I think you asked for one, then I asked for 3, and we ended up with 2. So
I'll take it. And maybe one's in the ether that hasn't come through yet, because you know how they like sit.
Yes. This one is from Arletta RRR, and it says Best Challenge Podcast, 5 stars. I've been listening to you guys for years, and it's the best challenge podcast, period. Love your takes.
Yay.
Mixie story, ass of the week, laughing emoji. Also, I'm hoping you guys will recap McB McDynasty Season 2. Woo!
Season Mc2, and we're doing it.
McB McDynasty. Yeah, I wonder when it comes out. Like, knowing our luck mix, that and Temptation Island will be on at the exact same time.
I didn't want to say it out loud because I also know that that's going to be what happens. But it's fine.
Oh, 100%.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
If it's just one long end of season recap like we did last time, we'll have to figure it out. But I cannot possibly let this season 2 go without us talking about it on the pod. So don't you worry. We will do it. It's just I don't know how yet.
I really hope we get the same level of debauchery and non-media training that we got in season 1. You know? Like, can they give these people the opposite of media training? Like, hey, remember what you did last year? I want you to go like 1,000% further than you did last year on your non-media training. Well, that's what I would like.
I feel confident in them.
I like that. Do. Okay, our second review comes from Madeline V. Madeline V. It says better than the others. 5 stars. Okay, Madeline, I see you. Madeline V. V for Vendetta. longtime challenge fan, newish listener, I don't know how newish that is, but thank you, was a longtime listener of a similar podcast, but they got hella annoying, so I made the switch. I'm glad I did. Now I'm only slightly annoyed. Laughing face, JK, love it. Let's go.
I love that. If we slightly
Madeline.
annoy you, I think we're winning.
Madeline, if you're following us on Instagram, which you should be, can you please let us know what one was the hella annoying one? Because I have some thoughts on which one it probably was, but I'm not going to say anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
Thank you for the reviews, and please continue. And also thank you guys for all the comments as well. We've been getting a lot of comments on YouTube, and it's been really fun to look through. So thank you all so much for that. They do not go unnoticed.
It really brightens up me and Mix's day at work when I bring her out the review that I got in the email, and she goes, "Oh, I already saw that one." I was like, "I just got the email. How did you already see it? Like, what type of like sorcery do you have?"
Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel.
Athlete.
Nothing gets past me.
And the last thing, Mix, is what?
We got the $100. Your girl's drinking next episode.
My goodness. Mr. Moneyman Morales, which I believe is his new official name, because we love alliteration here. Mr. Moneyman Morales donated 100 straight up by himself. So that means we were going to turn it over to the hotties to figure out exactly what they wanted, whether it was Mix's drunk going into the recording or she drinks as she goes. And as of right now, what is leading the vote, Mix? It's drink as you go,
The
right?
vote is very much leaning towards drink as we go. So we're considering doing it this episode, but it was a mini final. There was a lot going on. So we wanted to really get into that. But next episode, the game plan is if the vote continues this way, I will be drinking during the episode. I came up with the genius idea that I already regret and almost don't want to say it, but I already talked to Steven about it and we're going to do it. I'm going to rip a shot every 10 minutes of our recording. So a sounder will go off and I will take a shot. So according to the times that we've been getting in the last couple episodes, I'm going to be taking about like 8 shots.
It's a lot. We've been around like an hour 20 or something like that. So it could be a lot.
I don't know how that's going to go.
It might be dangerous. There might be
a lot of editing.
Yeah, there might be a point where we just have to like cut it off. We might have to do this in person to make sure that she is safe after her consumption
I'll
of the
be
alcohol.
home. I'll be fine. But I will say that the game plan is to do every 10 minutes because the eras were broken up by every 10 seasons. So at least it's on theme. And I will hopefully not die. And again, if the recording doesn't make sense with the 10-minute marks, it's because I got drunk at a certain point and said some shit that Steven had to cut out. So just know that recording wise, it'll be every 10 minutes.
I didn't even think about that,
delivery of the podcast, who knows what the time frame's going to be in between those.
It's like a 30-minute podcast, and you're like, why did she take 12 shots? And it's like, you don't want to.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. That will not be discussed at this point in time. Let's not mention it in the slightest. We are just moving on with our lives. You know what I mean?
If you want to join me in a safe way, I will be drinking Grey Goose.
Oh.
You are more than welcome to play along.
I think everybody should do that. If you are feeling like you want to participate and you're in your safe spot, you're not driving, you're not doing this at work, and you'd like to participate with us, have a bottle of your favorite alcoholic beverage ready next to you. Sit down, watch us on the YouTubes, and drink along with Mix. We'll have a nice little party. You know what, Mix? Maybe I'll get myself a nice adult beverage myself, and I'll drink along with you. We'll see how that goes. I'll make myself an Icelander, maybe. And just slowly drink as we go and see how down the rabbit hole this ends up being, which is kind of dangerous. I also want to do a shout out to Rebecca.
We better do an early Saturday record because you're going to have quite the edit.
Yeah, we probably got to do that. I want to give a shout out to Rebecca 3916, REBEC 3916 with a $25 donation. on YouTube,
Thank
Rebecca. Rebecca, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Shout out for the dono out of nowhere. Most of the time we know the people's names.
We really
like
appreciate
Mr. Moneyman
these
Morales.
guys. They
it's wild.
They do really help us out.
It's
Thank you.
wild. We're hoping to do more stuff now that this is money that's trickling in to get you like some more social content potentially. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, fun, exciting stuff.
We're very excited. Thank you guys very much. That wraps it up for this week. If you want to, vote on whether you want her to be already drunk before, if you want to change the vote, the only way you can vote is in the hotties. So you have to join the hotties in order to do that. We had some good conversations this week in there, including, I guess, Kylan and Michelle are cool now. Where the fuck did this come from? Great conversation with that.
Amen.
All right, before we wrap it up, we've done all of our housekeeping.
Yes.
I have a quick little closing rant that I had to deal with today setting this up. And Google Chrome, you need to get your shit figured out, okay? If I have to create a profile for each Gmail account I fucking have, and then I log into my YouTube thing and you go, hey, can we just verify it's you real quick? What's the purpose of this shit? Why do I need to log in again? Oh, I need to open my YouTube app on my phone to confirm the number that you just gave me? Okay, let me do that. What's next? I got to drive to the KFC, order a 3-piece meal extra crispy, and order both sides at coleslaw to confirm it's also me? Fuck that shit. Give me no profiles. Just let me log into all of them. I don't want to create an extra profile. I don't want to pick a fucking icon that I need to be in order so I know how many different accounts. Let me just log into everything. What's the purpose if I have to constantly confirm it's me?
Oh, I mean, I've been having massive issues with Google profiles as well at work. I keep opening stuff. My Google profile that they made me make is my fucking work email. And then I open things and it goes to my personal or a different other work email that's not my main and it's not set as my default. And then I try to go back to my actual profile, which again is the main profile, and it won't open. It tells me I'm logged out. I'm in the profile.
They logged you out. I'm in a profile.
Then I didn't.
And I open up a document that was sent to me and it goes, you're not able to view that. Log in. I'm already logged in on this tab.
And then you go to switch accounts, and then they're like, you need to log in. Bitch, I've logged in.
I'm all the way logged in. I didn't log out. I never logged out.
I never did. You logged me out, and I was trying to open it already in the account that it was logged into that you logged me out of.
Stop. Just stop, Google Chrome. Just
figure it out.
Just stop. I don't have world secrets on my computer. Let me just stay logged in, okay?
Or let me pick a setting that's like, oh, I want you to verify every single fucking time.
I have to put in my password again. That's not enough. I have to open up my phone and put in the number. This is not the Pentagon, okay? Let me just log in to my YouTube so I can look at the comments.
I'm with you. I'm fully with you.
Okay. Well, after that, I'm worked up and now I have to go calm down. So we will let everybody go. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you very, very much for joining us each and every week. Be prepared next week. Have your drinks ready. Play along with Mix. We'll see what goes on. It's going to be a while. And imagine if we get a good episode too.
Oh, we're going to get a good episode. So it's going to be a crazy ass one. We cannot wait to see you then. Have a great week, guys. We'll see you next week.
Her drunk talking about WAT is going to be great. See you later. Bye.